All right, welcome back to Waste Some Time with Jason Green. I am Jason Green. It's been a while. It's been 2 weeks, I'd say, since we've been here live, and there's been a lot going on. I apologize to all the viewers who expect to see me here on Wednesday, and also, more importantly, to my YouTube channel members and Patreons, because I know you guys are looking for some new content. Sometimes life on the road gets a little too crazy for me to juggle everything. I'm fortunate to be able to bring you to my Life on the Road tour diary series, so you get to see some of that, and I'm getting to make some content while traveling. But it's been a wild ride since I've last joined you, and sometimes I fell off that ride a little bit, as some of you may be familiar with my near-death experience. We'll talk about that in a little bit, and we'll talk about whatever you guys want to talk about, and all that and more right after this. Just wanna waste some time with you. Sometimes it seems too good to be true. Nobody out there to waste time with you. All right, here we are, and let me just pour myself a refreshing beverage. Get that going. And then let's take a look and see the people who are here, who's joining us. By the way, if you'd like to become a YouTube channel member, you just go to the front of the page and you hit join. And they'll shake you down for like $5, and you'll be a member. And you'll have a really cool thing next to your name. And there'll be all kinds of other perks coming soon too. All right, let's enough selling things. Let's see what's going on. I'm reading your comments. Brian Kirk is a channel member. Hey gang, so good to see you, Brian. Thank you. Scott says it's good to have me back. And Michelle Simon has been wondering about me. I appreciate that. I like to be wondered about. Jason Holstein, also a channel member. Welcome back, Jason. Great to see you again. Countess is here. Spirit. Sorry, after the accident, my speech is not the same. Spirit medium Daniel, he says, you're busy, but the good kind. That's alleged. Neil says it was a pleasure meeting me in Kentucky. I had a nice time in Kentucky and enjoyed meeting you as well, Neil. Let's see. We'll talk about Kentucky, the spot of my near tragic ending. Skylar, great meeting with Six Strings and Foxborough Set Band was awesome. Well, guys, I'm hoping that you guys will help me to remember this trip, because I don't remember much of it. Hi, Kim. Thank you. I hope you're doing well as well. Also, Neil says it's hard to believe the Kentucky show only sold 400 tickets. Maybe I shouldn't have clicked on that one. I think 400 tickets was a great night. All right, let's see what else here. Hello from Boston. Hi, Lee. D-Star 13. Hope your knees are healing up. Well, we'll talk about that. Keith asking if I suffered a concussion. That may be. And we'll talk about that. And a question about lead singer of LSD, Stanley. It's a question that's been asked before. He actually came to see a Stephen Pearcy show in Vegas. Johnny knows him. Johnny is from Chicago, where Stanley is from, and he doesn't really want to be known. The end of the day, I got to fix this angle a little bit. But at the end of the day, yes, of course, it was a gimmick, and for the most part, a gimmick that he really lived. Anyway, we'll talk about more of that later. Okay. Hello from Seattle. We'll be in Seattle not too long ago. Wastoids. That might be a good name for everybody. Wastoids. I like that. Okay. And Georgia is here. Hi, Georgia. All right, everybody. Let's get into the show. As if there's something planned, that now I'm going to dive into. But so it's been busy, and I will tell you that about 2 weeks ago we went on one of the busiest runs that the Stephen Pearcy solo band has ever had, and definitely the busiest since I've been working with them. We did 4 shows in a week. Normally this is weekend fly dates. This time we did a bunch. We went to York, Pennsylvania, and Quiet Riot was there, and Vince Neil was there. And I don't really remember that much about it. Oh, yeah, yes, I do. I take that back. We came in the night early, and I got to see Kix in one of their final performances, and it was packed. It was packed. Kix really brought a lot of people out. That's their hometown area, though. Maryland was a few miles away. So Johnny, Matt Thorne, and his lovely wife, Ramel, and I, we all went to see Kix, and we went to the fair on a quest to find the best of fair foods, and we had a good time. Exhausted, though. It was really a tough traveling trip. I will tell you that I'm not an expert on routing these things. That's a big thing, routing. So I reached out to Dana Strum of the band Slaughter, who also happens to be in the Vince Neil band. And he was a massive help, together with Slaughter's tour manager, Jeff Colin. I think that's how you pronounce his last name. Colin, something like that. Nice guy. He's been with them and Vince. And they helped me to route this thing to make it a little less painful. You know, you fly here, you drive here. You fly here, you go there. They go to these places. A lot of this was new to me. There's people out there who don't like Dana Strum, where they think he's a blowhard of sorts. I can tell you, I find him to be nothing but nice. Of course, he's a bit of a character. Of course, everyone has an impression, but he is very, he's a good guy. And if you're going to succeed in any type of business, you want to find somebody who's good at it and then copy what they're doing. And then you'll be successful as well if you do it right. And so anyway, I'm thankful he helped me with this upcoming trip. So we did York, Pennsylvania. From there, we went to Foxborough, Massachusetts. We flew there, and we rented vehicles. We split into camps. And I will tell you, we had a day off in Boston. Very rare to have a day off anywhere. But Boston was a good place to have a day off. I wanted to go and see some sights and bring them to you. Most of the guys in the Piercy band like to go and look at the insides of their eyelids from their hotel room. So the only people who went out were myself, Johnny Monaco, and Matt Thorne. Johnny was driving the minivan, and I wanted to see the Aerosmith apartment on Commonwealth Avenue. I wanted to see it for ages. And those guys were game enough to go with me to do it. And I think they appreciated it as well when they got there. And we met some people outside, and it's kind of a cool thing. It's a landmark. There's a plaque. For those of you who don't know, it's an apartment in Massachusetts where Aerosmith lived from 1970 to 72. The song Moving Out is about that living experience. The city's moving in, so they're moving out. It's a very nice neighborhood, now at least. It was hard to believe that these guys were living there, struggling to get by. Anyway, so we did that, and then we went to eat on the harbor. Johnny said he knew a place called Legal Seafood that he ate at 15 years ago. He was excited to return. He heard it was the best. When we got there, he showed the waitress a picture of his visit from 15 years ago, and she informed him that there is about 10 Legal Seafoods. It's a chain. So we couldn't get the exact one. And I'm going to get to your questions. I see them. I will definitely. Happy to talk with you guys more. So we had the Legal Seafood. It was some of the best seafood that I've had, I'll tell you that. And from there, I wanted to see the site of the Boston Massacre. Matt, I think, didn't understand. I think he thought we were going to go see the Boston other event, the tragedy that happened from the marathon. We were going to document the Boston Massacre, which is less in bad taste because it happened in 1770. It wasn't even really much of a massacre. Some snowballs and some sticks thrown, and a couple people died, but by today's standards, not that crazy. So we were asking people, where's the Boston Massacre? Young people didn't know. People sent us the wrong way. Finally, we found it. It's in front of a large, I guess it's a church. And there was a guy out there playing the bagpipes. And the monument to the Boston Massacre, if you've never seen it, I apologize. I have a lot of pain in my arm from my near-death experience. But this, it looks like a giant manhole. And it says, this is the site of the Boston Massacre. Matt said to me, do you think you can get Johnny to lay down on the side? And I said, it's a good question. I'm not sure. Usually Johnny is up for a good laugh. but I wasn't sure. There was lots of people hustling and bustling and commuting, and we'll have to watch the tour diary to see if Johnny did in fact lay down in front of or on the Boston Massacre monument site, if you will. From there, we went to the Quincy Market, which was a lot of fun. Some of these things have gotten a little silly. There's a lot of new, modern, urban kind of nonsense that sort of takes away from the history, I think. But things are changing, and they had ice cream. I had a very small portion because I'm trying to watch my diabetes. And then I went to a great place called Newbury Comics. I've always wanted to go to Newbury Comics, and it's Funko Pop heaven for a guy like me. And so I did get to do that. And we went to the Cheers bar. I did get to visit the Cheers bar. I have seen most of these things before. I hadn't been to Boston since the early 90s. My best friend in high school went to the Berkeley School of Music, and I visited. And my ex-girlfriend, my high school sweetheart, if you will, she went to Clark University, which is in Worcester, Massachusetts. I believe I said it right that time. It took me years to get that. But anyway, so I spent some time in that area. I also was visiting colleges and visited Harvard, which there was never a chance I was going to get into. But I remember while visiting, I went to see the movie Pet Sematary in the theater for the Ramones soundtrack. Excuse me while I have a drink. Talk amongst yourselves. Okay, so I will tell you what happened in Boston is we got lost. It sounds ridiculous. New York is always going to be the superior city. It's a grid. The streets go this way, the avenues go that way. Very easy. Not Boston. Shit's everywhere. Who knows what's happening? And we got lost. We walked 8 miles that day, all around and up and down. And finally, someone was nice enough to tell us where where the parking lot that we parked at was. $45. It cost me. That pain is not from the $45. It's the my sternum has been crushed. Anyway, so it was fun. We went to the hotel. It wasn't the nicest hotel. That doesn't always happen. That you get the best ones. Whatever. I think that was a good gig, Foxborough, Massachusetts. Oh yeah. It was in a Patriot place. It's called Patriot Place. It's right outside the stadium where the Patriots play. For those who don't know, that's the team that deflate the footballs and cheat. Not to be confused with the Houston Astros, who bang on garbage cans and cheat. Anyway, then from there we drove to Derry, New Hampshire. I don't remember that gig. If there's anyone in the audience who was at the Derry, New Hampshire gig, please remind me what it was like. From New Hampshire, we drove back to Boston, and from Boston, we flew to Michigan, Wyandotte, Michigan. I think that's how you say it. For those of you who get upset the way I pronounce things, or sometimes I'm doing it to be silly, other times I just don't care. So no need to comment that traverse is traverse. I don't really care. Okay, so that was Michigan. We had a good time in Michigan. I remember that was a rocking crowd, really rocking. That was one of the better crowds I've seen in a long time. They were into it. They were there for the rock and roll, and a lot of people who watched this show. I'm sure they're watching it now. I can't believe how many kind people I've met. And I'm just going to a few of your comments. Keith has also done Newberry. I've done it mail order, but never in person. Hope to see a new tour diary. Well, you will. And hello to Vicky and Samantha. Hi, Samantha. Great to catch you live for the first time. Well, that's great. I'm glad you're here. And we need more young ladies because the Instagram, whatever it's called, YouTube, the algorithm says that my audience is 99% men over 50. Robert says he's a newbie in the chat. He enjoys the videos that he's seen so far. In the archives, great workman. Well, thank you, Robert. Welcome aboard. Glad to see you. Here is Donna, also representing a girl power. Barbie movie is out, and it's a good time for women to be strong again. Girl power is back. Spice Girls should be leading it. Matt did not have blue ice cream this time. I can't remember. You'll have to watch the video. I remember he did go out on the edge a little bit. Um, yeah, and Francis also said they heard good things about Dana. The Music No Life says Dana is the king. Oh boy, noise out there. My co-pilot Bitsy is sitting by me today. I'm surprised that I fed her right before the show so she wouldn't make so much noise. Oh, it was Zeke. My wife and I were there in Wyandotte front row. Well, that you had a good spot, and that was a great one. Samantha's asking about touring Australia. I mean, it would be great. I can't speak for Stephen Piercy, but directly, but I will tell you that it's winding down. That's no secret. He ain't going to be doing this forever. We'll be in Puerto Rico in September. My friend Miguel from this channel, if you're a fan of the channel and you've been around, you know Miguel. He's the world's hot sauce renowned expert. He will be in Puerto Rico with us because he is a Baricua and will help communicate and assist and tour manage. Anyway, so, but if you live in that area, I would go to the show. Most places, I would go to see Stephen Piercy right now. The band is great. He is adding songs that you have asked for. You wanted to hear some new music. You're going to get some new music. When I say new music, I mean RATT songs that they haven't heard. I think at this point, that's what people want to hear. I think you want to hear RATT because it's your last chance to hear it, sung by the original voice of RATT, not some clown calling himself the other voice of RATT. Anyway, so. And, you know, Stephen has great solo music, great arcade music, but I feel like it's about RATT. Otherwise, you know, you're fortunate to have a set list as great as he does. He's got a greatest hits set list. How many people have that? Yes, Skylar Miguel has been on every Christmas episode. He is the New Year's Eve expert. He shows us around New York. And let's see. All right. So anyway, you're going to have some good stuff. Of course, people want to see Canada. I'm hearing a lot about Canada. I don't know. If it does happen in Canada, again, I would go because it's probably only going to happen one more time. Anyway, Michigan, rocking crowd, great people. Speaking of Michigan, Ted Nugent and Night Ranger, we filmed that one a few weeks earlier. That one's out. 25,000 people have watched it so far, the damn Yankees. A reunion, if you will. I got a lot of heat over that. A lot of angry people don't like that I don't agree with Ted Nugent. I'm going to set this clear once, and that will be it. I don't really care for your comments. They'll be deleted, trash, tossed, if you will. Anyway, I don't agree with hunting. Whether you eat meat, whether you don't. I don't believe in hunting. I especially don't believe in trophy hunting. I don't believe in being happy about hunting. I don't believe that you should cut Bambi's throat and smile and pose with the corpse. I think it's interesting. I think it's interesting that Ted Nugent has 3 beautiful dogs. I heard one was sick. I hope it's okay. But how does he decide which to put a hole in their head and which to have as a pet? I like Bambi. I couldn't imagine harming it. Political views and things like that, I don't really talk about. People seem to think you know everything about me, but I don't. I thought he plays well, and I was happy to see Ted Nugent, and he was very nice to me. But that's the end of. That's all I got to say about it. Don't. You're allowed to do what you want. I believe in America. It's faulty sometimes. But I believe that everyone's allowed to have their opinion. That's what this country is supposed to be based on. I do see a lot of people who sometimes don't think everybody should have that. Oh, well, here's the first super chat of the day, and thank you for that because my medical bills are piling up. Hope you feel better soon. I heard from a Hair Nation DJ Eddie Murphy's favorite band in the 80s was RATT, Golden Child. Is that true? It'd be interesting, and we'll have to find out somewhere. I've never heard it, but yes, RATT did appear in the movie The Golden Child. The song Body Talk is on the TV. And yeah, and thank you, AZ. I appreciate your super chat and supporting the channel. Okay. Jason, I like Ted's music, not a fan of outside. Yeah. And we're all allowed to feel that way, of course. So let's see. I want to make sure I get to everybody. All right. Anyway, so that episode is very popular. I was happy to bring it to you. And again, people enjoy it. So we went to Michigan. We came home for a couple of days, and we went back to Michigan. We went to Kingsford, Michigan this time with Vince Neil. Dana Strum arranged to have a tour bus pick us up at the airport. Now Vince flies private, so he flies into the show. His pilots wait, and then he flies out of the show, and that's the end of it. We don't. He's not hanging much, but Vince's band, which features Zoltan, which is the flying squirrel drummer, and Jeff Blando on guitar, and then Dana Strum, Jeff and Dana from Slaughter, and then Ted sings. And so, did I say it wrong? I don't know what I said. Vince. I'm looking at all your Ted Nugent comments. Everyone's getting crazy. Anyway, so we had a nice time, and Dana, you learn from watching him. I asked him when so the tour managers check the bands in normally. You go up, you get everyone's IDs, and then they give you the rooms, and then you sign for all of your people. Our camp is easy. There's usually 5 of us, 6 of us. I can't remember everyone on that trip. 7 total, I think. And then Dana and Vince, which they have 37 people on the crew, it seems like. But I asked Dana, do you ever make sure that you put the people you don't like on a separate floor? And he assured me that he did. I don't want to say he doesn't like, but sometimes you want to move people around. I'm learning too. With this band, there's no one that I really dislike. But when I toured with another member of RATT, I often made sure to be on a separate floor as far away as possible. And not just him, some other people too. And now, Vince Neil, a lot of people, Vince Neil is my dude. Spelled wrong, but okay. Does Vince sing live? Yes, Vince does sing live. Whether or not there's some tracks in the Motley Crue, I can't speak for the solo band. In the Motley Crue show, of course there are, but he did sing live, good or bad. He does sing, and I give him that. Let's see. All right, I'm trying to get to some of your other things. I'm getting a little sleepy. I know you're all waiting to hear about my near-death experience, and I will get to it. Okay. And some people don't like Vince, and that's okay. You can all feel how you feel. I'm keeping my opinions a little quiet on this one. I am not a Motley Crue fan, though. I think I've made that pretty clear on the show. Shout the Devil to me is the end. Not a couple good songs here and there. It's just not my band. I'm a RATT fan. But hey, God bless those guys, especially Mick Mars. And then, so we played that show in Kingsford, Michigan. It was good, but we had to get up at 1:45 a.m. for lobby call. I did sleep 2 hours, and then we took the bus to the airport. This was a tough trip. It was tough on everybody. We were exhausted, and from there we split up at the airport. We got to Atlanta because, as you know, no flights go to. Nothing's direct with Delta. You always end up in Atlanta, the hub. So from Atlanta, we flew to Kentucky. But while in the Atlanta airport, we ran into Mark Slaughter. It's funny how fast we changed from Vince Neil to Mark Slaughter. Vince was on his way to Syracuse to play a show with Motley Crue, and Mark Slaughter was coming in to move to the next city that Slaughter was playing. So we went to Kentucky, and this is where things get serious. It was a day off in Kentucky, Ashland, Kentucky. For those of you who are watching, Ashland, Kentucky is the birthplace of Charles Manson, for one. And then right across the street, the Judds were also from that area. A lot of people believe country music was born in that area. A lot of the streets are named after country artists. The Paramount Theater, the place that Stephen Pearcy played, was the first place that Billy Ray Cyrus did the Achy Breaky Heart. I believe they filmed the video there. This is history and trivia for you folks. So uh, I have extremely sensitive skin. I'm very sensitive, and when I shave, my neck will sometimes break out. They call that a redneck. Coincidentally, I was in Kentucky, so I Johnny's more concerned about my redneck than I am. I can be honest with you. I have a thick skin. I don't really sensitive thick skin, but I don't really care what anyone thinks. And the days of trying to look, who am I impressing? Who cares? You got to be comfortable in your own sensitive skin. But Johnny thought, I don't travel. I stopped traveling with razors. I used to have an electric razor. It died. Who knows? I get lazy. I'm not performing on stage. You know what I mean? Maybe if I was in a band, but what can you do? So Johnny said that I should go buy a new razor and maybe some aftershave. We went down to the front desk of the hotel. First of all, when I checked into this hotel, I'm not going to say the name, Delta by Wyndham. There was blood on my bed, and it wasn't mine. Uh, the bed looked like it hadn't been slept in. It, excuse me, had been slept in. It looked like someone slept in the bed. The pillows were floppy. The blanket was. They threw the blanket over, and that was that. I saw a study that said a lot of times they don't make the bed. They just throw the comforter over the top. Well, it looked that way. And as I explored and found the two stains of blood, I believe that this room had not been properly sanitized. And yes, this is not the first time I've had blood in the bed that didn't belong to me. So uh, uh, I took it to Drummer Boy Jones, a channel member. Yes, the Rat box set is great. Well, thank you. And if anyone else would like to get a Rat box set, it's on sale right now in the description. Proceeds help this channel. Thank you, Drummer Boy. So uh, I had to switch rooms. I hate to be the guy who does that, but I had to switch rooms. I did. It was a nice hotel, and I got a nicer room. The young lady at the front desk, her name was Chloe. We asked her, where is the nearest CVS, and can we walk? And she showed us where it was, and it was a half a mile or so. And she said we could walk, but she said they got these scooters out front, and you could get there much faster if you rent one of these scooters. Now listen, in Hollywood, if you've been to Hollywood, they got these things everywhere. They're all over the damn streets. They're stupid. They're ugly. They're in the way. They're dangerous, and people just take them, and when they don't, they just throw them to the side, and someone picks them up. These are electric scooters. Okay. When I was a kid, I grew up in New York City. We didn't ride skateboards. All right. I never been on a skateboard in my life. I learned to ride a bicycle when I was like 22, and I wasn't even very good, and I still don't trust myself. But I thought maybe it'd be funny content to ride a scooter. Uh, it was a mistake. So and so Johnny and I went outside to choose our scooters. And what you do is you got to download an app, and then the app knows where your scooter is, and they charge you 25 cents a minute. It cost me $16 to come down with the injuries that I have. This is a good time to super chat because pain and suffering. So we were riding. I should have took some time and learned how to do it. I will point out that Johnny was intoxicated and did it just fine. We had lunch together, everybody, and he was scooting and scooting in and scooting out. But Johnny's from the suburbs. This is what he did. He scooted. I didn't do that. So I was doing okay, but I didn't quite understand the brakes. Johnny thinks the thing might have went 25 miles an hour. Uh, so we were moving, but you're supposed to ride in traffic. We decided to stay on the sidewalks. There was no one on these sidewalks. And I think Johnny also admits that maybe he should have gone a little easier on me too. He assumed that I had figured it out, and he meant well. But Johnny was like scooting blocks ahead of me, and then he would tell me, "Oh, you got to try this and you got to try that." I should have just stuck to, "Oh, well, thank you." Neosporin has been my best friend. I'm going to show my injuries in just a minute, some that have never before seen, and these are for sensitive eyes. Thank you, Joe in Seattle. So, and I'm not blaming Johnny. He, you know, It's not his fault that I'm a gangly 6'1" dummy who's never scooted. A lot of people, by the way, when they meet me at the show, they say, "I'm surprised how tall you are." Everyone's so used to me just sitting down. So I will point out, by the way, Johnny is under the weather. So I would have had him. And Johnny's not always on this show, for those of you who are new or not new. But when he is here, he's very funny, but he is not feeling well. So that is why I'm telling the story. Rebel, from the waist down, here's a little something for gauze and ointment. My ex-girlfriend always had skin knees. Well, thank you. I won't ask too much about your private life, but and again, I'm going to show you some things in just a minute. I appreciate these super chats. Believe me, it also makes up for all the money that I missed these other weeks. Okay, and thank you. I enjoy your sense of humor as well. So I was getting on and off the thing. I thought it was like a bicycle. When you hit the brakes, that you will fly over the handlebars. And I was very scared that that would happen. We got to the CVS. We try to find things in travel sizes so that I can take them on the plane. I got a sensitive skin, that shit, aftershave. It was terrible, by the way. It burned the fuck out of me. It was stupid. And I bought a razor because I needed a new razor. Thank you so much. Scooter refund. There's the $16. Thank you so much. That is very kind of Kara. I hope I got it right. Well, thank you. Because Anna Kara is a member. I'm going to call you Kara until you tell me otherwise. So that makes me feel a little better that I didn't, that I'm not suffering and knowing that I paid for it. We're going to get to these injuries that are under my skin, if you will. So Johnny kept telling me, put one foot in front of the other. He was riding it like Goofy, and I don't like skateboarding. I tried watching it in the Olympics. I tried watching it in the Olympics. It was just goofy. I like watching the chicks, though. Most things in the Olympics, I prefer to watch chicks do it. So I didn't want to. I got it right, Kara. Okay, well, thank you, Kara, for everything. So I should have just stuck to what I was comfortable with. It looked awkward and strange, but at least I was okay. But I wanted to keep up. We got lost again, and we went down the wrong way. And we were, and then there were. Listen, there was some really frightening people, scary, thugs that we went by. All right, there were two. It was two like 10-year-old kids on bicycles, and maybe Johnny did tell them that his was electric and tell them off. But that's besides the point. So we're scooting along, and I like to say that there was a biker gang and that I was attacked and wild animals. There was a dog that looked like Cujo that we passed, but I don't exactly know what happened. But to the best of my knowledge, Johnny was a million miles away. We were lost, and he was shouting at me to scoot faster and scoot straight and put one leg here and scoot one hand here. And I should have never listened. And again, it's not his fault. And he might have a different version of this. But I tried to brake. I tried to do that. I lost balance. I don't really know what happened. In the moment, I blacked out, and I crashed into a parked car that was outside somebody's driveway. It seemed like a very nice car. I'm not going to say whether or not there was damage done, but I will show you a little bit of what's going on here. So the mirror on the car, the side view mirror, did this. So this is what, and you can see it's a little blurry, so I'll try to get in there so you can see it. It doesn't look terrible, but I can't begin to tell you how bad it hurts. It hurts all the way, all of this in the breast area, it's into the back. All in here is in a great deal of pain. Oh, hold on. Somebody was trying to help for my pain and suffering. For Mr. Evil Knievel, I hope you feel better soon. Chicks dig scars. Anyway, we'll find out about that. 1650. I think that was the exact number. Thank you very much. Much appreciated. For my pain and suffering, if you will. So it hurts all the way here. And right here, should point out in case somebody saw it, this is a CGM, continuous glucose monitor, so that I don't have to prick my fingers. I just hold my phone against this thing, and it tells me what my blood sugar is at. I'm trying harder to take care of myself. Okay, then I had these injuries to my legs. I have bruises and cuts pretty much everywhere, especially in places that are unmentionable. 275 people watching right now. For the first time ever, I will expose to you a part of my body that I don't show very often. Can you see that? I don't know if you can see that. Oh Jesus! There's a bit of a welt. I'm trying to look at it on my monitor here, but it's giant. This is a giant bruise. You can get the idea. So I got that. I got both my knees taped up right now. I don't want to untape them. A lot of people are concerned that because I am a diabetic, I can't take chances with infections, and that is very true. Oh, and then I had a thing on the bottom of my leg here, but then I hit that same spot in the accident, and it's worse now. So everything aches. I didn't know how I was going to get through. I will tell you that the best scooting of my life was done right then and there. I got up, I got on my bad motor scooter, and I rode. Because I might have been worried about charges, damages, I told Johnny didn't even know what was happening. He was so far ahead. He was scooting the figure eight, but then he saw I was down on the ground. I said, just go. I didn't look at my knees. I didn't look at anything else because when you see it, it hurts more. Didn't look at my chest, even though I thought maybe I broke something. And I scooted like it was my life depended on it. Johnny and I, like two kids frolicking on a Sunday afternoon, scooted as far away from the scene of the crime as possible. We told the kids you didn't see anything, and RATT song, Scene of the Crime. And then we try to find our way back. And another song. So all of a sudden, I had to pause because I couldn't breathe. I had the wind knocked out of me. I felt we were safe enough distance. A family of deer crossed the street right in front of Johnny and I. Like, this is like a residential neighborhood. They just and I wanted to film this because it's very rare that I'm that close to deer. But it was amazing. It's sad though. Sad. The one deer stands in the roads so the other family can cross. Some idiot's going to hit them, and then there's other idiots, Ted Nugent, who want to make them for dinner. It's a little sad and beautiful to see animals in their native neighborhood. Okay, so I'm going to look at some of your questions, and then I'll tell you what happened next. Yeah, Yellow Drops is saying Kara's real name is Kevin, and it's a dude. So they're having a Kara, you're being outed. If you care to defend yourself, Kara, that's up to you. But otherwise, they're calling you out. Can't believe it. You need an aftershave balm, not alcohol. It wasn't an alcohol one, but it didn't matter. And I don't care. Fuck if my neck is red. Yeah. William says he relates. Growing up in downtown LA, it's skateboard, roller skate. Yeah, no scooters. Well, I'm bringing on a scooter ban. Jason, please bring Stephen Pearson to Laughlin. Listen, I would love to, but I don't book it. Sullivan Big books it, not me. Let's see here. Trying to go through some of your stuff here. Well, I did black out. A little later, I also I went back to the hotel. I'll get to it in a second. Does it hurt to cough and sneeze? Yeah, it does. I'm glad you're okay. Had a scooter accident yourself. I am very sorry. These things should be banned. Okay. Yeah, hit the like button. That's not a bad idea. All right. A lot of people reacting to my marks. Jim says, "Suck it up, Buttercup." Everybody's a comedian. If Johnny was here, he would set you straight. Oh boy. Anyway, it could have been a hit and run. Did you get your knees checked? You can get a tear so easy. I did not get anything checked. Did you give up on Tammy? No, Tammy's on tour, so when he's home, I'll have him on the show. Sorry, guys. I want to. Oh well. Thank you. I appreciate the love. Okay. So anyway, and Lisa as well. All right. Back to thoughts on Extreme. Could care less about Extreme. Care less. I'll take Slash over Nuno. If you're following that debate, I don't care. I liked Extreme when I was a kid. I just don't really care. They're not setting my world on fire. Right, Bitsy? Come on, Bitsy. Come say hello to the folks. Come on. Bitsy's a little camera shy right now. I tried. Anyway, so we get back to the hotel, and we're filming for the tour diary, myself telling the young lady at the counter what happened to me, and because it was her fault for convincing me to do it. Then while I was reenacting it, I acted as if I was feeling faint, and I acted as if I was falling down, but I hit the back of my head against the hotel counter, which is probably why I'm suffering even more. And Joe apparently knows her as well. What would you have done differently? Well, if Woody would have just gone to the police, none of this would have happened. Yeah, I would have walked and took an Uber. It was stupid. I was tired. We were up for 24 hours. Most of my scooting experience was fine. It wasn't all bad. I should have just done it the way I wanted to do it. Instead, I listened to Johnny scooting a little bit, got in my head. I got nervous. I panicked. There was all kinds of things happening. But yes, Elizabeth, I'm coming to join you. But anyway, I should. Oh man, it hurts. It hurts. I should know better than to do these. Look at all these chicks coming out of the woodwork. I apologize, you can't say that anymore. But YouTube lies about my audience. Thoughts about the cult. I thought they're okay, but you're saying the new album's good. I'm shocked because they're always boring when I see them. Jesus. Michelle says I should have gotten checked out. I probably should have. William agrees that the new cult rocks. I'll have to check it out. Beer 30 Lacrosse is saying hello to the chicks. And Skylar is also a chick. It's okay if you identify as a chick, whatever. Lisa, you're correct. I need a decent painkiller. I've got Tylenol, Advil, and maybe some edible type thing. But yeah, I'm in bad shape. Jason, how about Frank Domino? Do you still work with him? Well, I never really worked with Frank. I had him use projects that I did and things like that. And he's a nice guy. And we talked recently, and he's going to come on the show with Punky Meadows. That's coming soon. Jim Morrison or Ian Asper? It's a stupid question. Samantha, hello, blokes. Yeah, the chicks are now talking to the blokes. Well, we've got something going. Yes, as long as my domestic partner is okay with my redneck, then no one else needs to worry. I'm getting tired. I can't see the questions. Everything's becoming a blur. So I was in a great deal of pain. Matt Matt Thorne was nice enough to go to the same CVS. He chose to walk, and he went and got me bandages and Bactine and medications and everything else to help me avoid death, if you will. I was in a lot of pain that night. I did come down and mingle a little bit. I came to the lobby and I saw a lot of police activity, and I was a little scared that they might be looking for a hit and run, if you know what I'm saying. Hmm. So I did what any responsible guy would do. I turned and ran. When we came back, Chloe told me that it was because there was a jerk that was very mean to her, complaining about a microwave in his room, and I don't know. And the police had to ask him to leave. Who knew that Kentucky got so crazy? So uh, everybody's talking about. German Boy Jones enjoyed the Matt Thorne Casino Tour Diaries. There's a lot more Matt Thorne coming. He's a good sport, and he's a great player as well. But great sport, and he will be making some more appearances. Okay, so on with the show. The next day there was a show. My friend Jason came out. Jason Neal. Jason's usually here in the chat. He's not here right now, but I was going to have him come on and tell his stories. He helped out with some of the events for the day, and uh, a bunch of people. It was fun. They're all going to be in the tour diary. You'll watch it. As soon as I get off of this, I'm going to not get off like that, but I'm going to edit the. I'm going to edit tour diaries so that you'll have them to watch because I know you've missed them. Kentucky show was good. Everyone was really nice. A lot of people there for the meet and greet. And again, a lot of people tell me they watched this show. I'm happy to meet people and sign things and take pictures. And it's been happening not just there, everywhere. People really seem to like this, and that makes me happy. And I have zero ego about any of that. Yes, me, Matt, and Johnny may be the new three amigos. That is possible. So I, yes, the Thorns of Burbank. So anyway, Chloe is here to defend herself. She says she told me to be careful. Chloe, be careful, and a quarter won't get me a phone call anymore. But she meant well. Yeah, but I am suffering hemorrhage and possible other permanent things. But I'm glad that Chloe is here to legally try to absolve any blame. So, Ashland, Kentucky, I will point out that morning, Stephen wanted to go to what's that place called? A junkyard, pawn shop in some part of Kentucky. I don't know what it was called. But we went there and he bought a guitar, a Dillian, if you will. Second Dillian. He's a Dillian collector. Hi, Mark. How are you? Nice to see you. If you're joining us late, Mark, this young lady named Chloe convinced me to ride a motorcycle, and I was horribly disfigured. Anyway, so he bought some guitars, and we filmed it. And it makes for a funny tour diary. Johnny Monaco was there in his Daisy Dukes. Yes, rest in peace to Robbie Robertson of the band. It's not really my thing, but rest in peace. Hit up Matt Sorum. I did. We talked about it. He said in a month or so. Maybe you'll see him right here on this very show. So again, went to the pawn shop. Then we went to the show. I like when the hotel is in walking distance of the venue, and it was right at the Paramount Theater, Paramount Arts Center, right across the street from the hotel that I won't mention, Wyndham by Delta, Delta by Wyndham, whatever. Anyway, I almost perished. So that evening, I decided to do my own meet and greet in the lobby, as I often do, and we stayed chatting for a while. Met some nice people. Jason, Chloe was there. I like this one, John. John says that Chloe sounds hot. It's interesting that you can figure that out just from. I mean, I couldn't say that would be inappropriate, but uh, yeah. Well, John, if she ever asks you to ride a scooter, see what you do. Okay. I don't even know what the hell we're talking about. Some of you. Oh, okay. I'm trying. Yes. And yes, Pee Wee Herman had passed away. Yeah, very sad. Very sad. I'm thinking about going to a movie theater and relieving myself in his memory. If bring my jacket and jacket off. Uh, anyway, yeah, love Pee Wee and how sad. Yeah. All right. Johnny is not here, so put that in your pipe and smoke it. Or if you prefer edibles because smoking is obnoxious, you can do that as well. Lots of people watching. I got to get to some more fascinating things. And oh, Jesus! Everyone, all of a sudden, Bitsy needs some treats. Coors Lightly, I couldn't agree with you more. I'd like to have Bitsy appear. She's sleeping right off to my left. Before the show ends, we'll show Bitsy. Glad you lived to fight another day. It was very scary. When you see the tour diary, you will see what I overcame. And listen, it's still bad. I will be in Chicago this weekend. All the pain and suffering cannot stop me. Uh, uh, I will be in Illinois. I'll be in Chicago at the Fan Expo. I hope to see some of you. If any of you are watching from the Chicago area, we should get together. This is my solo tour, so come on out and see me. There's going to be a National Lampoon's Vacation reunion. 6 cast members from the first movie. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. The original 4 family. Randy Quaid, that's Cousin Eddie, and that there is an RV. And Christy Brinkley will be there. Rocky Horror Picture Show. Susan Sarandon and Barry Bostwick, and Back to the Future, all of the Back to the Future cast is going to be there. The Lost Boys are going to be there. Kiefer Sutherland and Jason Patrick. This is really an all-star event, and it's going to be fun. I'm going to be there Saturday afternoon. I'll be at the Fan Expo all day Sunday, and then Monday I will venture into Chicago to bring you some really cool locations. Never had a chance to film anything there. Never had much time there as I was always on the move. So now we're going to bring you some legendary Chicago locations. And anyway, and if you live in this Illinois and you'd like to be on Waste Some Time with Jason Green, well uh, then I'd be happy to do that. So someone's saying, don't go to Cousin Eddie's house. They don't like the movie. Cousin Eddie's house is in Colorado or something. I would still do it. I would just try to be slick about it. Why buy a house if if you're against people recognizing your house? Anyway, yeah, Interview with the Lost Boys would be good. I agree. We did have the guy who sang the song on here. You know the song "Cry Little Sister." The guy's name is G. Tom Mack. And he was here. Yes, Randy Quaid was banned from the United States, but it has been worked out, and he is back. And Robert, again with the Laughlin, I have no idea. I can't help you, but it'd be nice to play there. It's close to my home. I know we're going to be in Jackpot, Nevada. Jackpot, Nevada. Okay. Some of these questions will take too long to answer, so I'll have to answer them another time. Oh, am I in pain? Pain and suffering. Um, so we'll have to see if I survive. Come on, Bitsy. Bitsy, come on. Come on, kitty. She is camera shy today. Bitsy, Hold on. We'll get Bitsy to make one quick appearance. Talk amongst yourselves. Come on, Bitsy. Oh, my senior cat, Bitsy. She is 17, 18 years young. She likes to talk. And yeah. Say hello to everybody, Bitsy. If you would like to contribute to the Bitsy Kibble Fund, you could do that. Bitsy would appreciate it. Bitsy answers all of her own fan mail, so if you want to contribute, Bitsy will send you autographed pictures. Love you, Bitsy. Yeah. All right. Dinner is going to be served very soon. Okay. Yes, Bitsy's been around a long time. It's a miracle that she's still kicking. She's overcome a lot of things. And yes, and now she's going to talk the rest of the show. My ex named her. That was not my doing. I think her name was Little Bit or something like that. And then it was Bitsy. So I did not know. I did not name her. And yeah, anyway, okay. So I'll be in Chicago this weekend, as I said. The following weekend, Stephen Piercy will be in. Jennifer. Well, thank you very much for me and Bitsy. And yes, thank you. And okay, so then I'm going to Missouri, the St. Louis area, hoping to bring you some stuff, but it's a tight trip. I don't know if there's going to be time, but that will show in Hannibal, Missouri. It will be in order: Vixen, Slaughter, Stephen Piercy. Recommend you come out to that one. After that, I get a few days off. Try to get better thoughts on Mr. Big. I don't watch Sex and the City that often. Chris Noth, he's a good actor. Anyway, so. Yes, Susan Sarandon is going to be at that Fan Expo. I look forward to seeing her. Then we go to Hannibal, Missouri, like I said, then off for a couple days, thank God. In September, Stephen Piercy will be performing at Alton, Virginia. It's the Blue Ridge Rock Festival with a bunch of heavy, shitty bands I don't care about. But Vince Neil will be there too. And then from there, we go to Puerto Rico, which I'm excited about. After that, Utah State Fair. That's a great bill. That one is Vixen, Quiet Riot, Slaughter, Great White, and Stephen Piercy. I almost lost my thumb in that accident. Okay. Jason, have you had time to play that Fender behind you lately? Well, no, because I am so horribly injured and disfigured, thanks to Chloe and Johnny. Thank you, Sin City Photog. Hit the like button. I hope you guys are doing that. Anyway, but I haven't played in a while. I have the drive to do it. I was thinking about taking the song, waste some time. I just want to waste some time with you. It's the theme song. Putting it out as a 7-inch, even though it's a little small for me, but put that out for you guys with one of my other songs on the other side and get those limited and numbered. And so anyway, soon. Okay. Yeah, it would be nice to be in Australia maybe one day. Okay. Michelle Simon. Thank you so much, Michelle. Much appreciated. Thank you. Okay. All right. Chris jumping in. And Bitsy, you're getting the Catnip Fund 420 Canadian. So there you go, Bitsy. You're set. And thank you very much. And Bitsy's looking for. She's going to get steak tonight or something. Anyway, you can go to officialstephenpearcy.com for those tour dates. I don't usually. I've been thinking about going to the Al Capone grave. That is correct. It would have been nice if someone from Illinois was with me. Should I know someone from Illinois? But Johnny, it would. He's if you saw the live show where we're stuck in Detroit, Johnny talks a little bit about what's going on in his personal life, and he seems to be a little bit hesitant to be around people and or trusting of people, and so I don't know if that made any sense. Good. How many questions about the cult are you going to ask me? Who cares? I mean, it's nice. I mean, you've asked me, would I see the cult with green eggs and ham? Would you see the cult on a train, on a plane? I don't know. Rain is probably more fitting, but I don't know. Don't know, and I haven't really thought about the cult that much. I've been thinking about joining one. Would you play a bass for a song at the Whiskey with member my brother's band? Well, we could talk about that, Mark. That is possible if I'm allowed, but I would do it. And I think it would be fun, and it would be a nice way to get everyone on the show. So let's talk about it. I almost played Breaking the Law the other night because we had a little problem, and I'm very familiar with law breaking, as you can see by my hit and run injury. Okay, so Mark, you'll hit me up and we'll talk about that. Anyway, I appreciate you guys. I'm sorry if this has been a boring show. There are things coming up, and there are ideas to make this more interesting, of course. And there'll be new interviews and new things. I'm going to go as soon as we get out of here. We've done this for an hour and 2 minutes. I am going to start editing tour diaries so that you can watch them and you can see a lot of this firsthand. You'll see the before and after of the accident, and all those type of things. Visit where Geraldo Rivera's career ended. It's actually not true. It's actually where Geraldo Rivera's career took off. I worked for Geraldo Rivera after that incident. He got much more successful. The fact that for those who may be too young or not give a shit, Geraldo Rivera tried to open Al Capone's vaults, and there was nothing in it. There was some bottles. But the drama and the way he hosted it, the next day he got offered a lot more work. He eventually had his own talk show, and it helped his career. Jeff Tate flaked on me. No other way to say it. He flaked. They say maybe he'll reschedule, but for now, Todd says he met me in Ashland with his wife. Surreal experience. Thank you so much. Well, I'm so happy. It's so awkward. I love meeting everyone who watches this channel. I literally do this. It's me and the camera, and to meet actual people, that are watching. I mean, I know you're there, and then when I hear the names, I remember, and it's awkward for people to say nice things to me. Most of my life, people said terrible things. So I try to listen, and it's so nice that people tell me their favorite interviews or things that made them laugh or things about the show. It's all just very nice, and I appreciate everybody. Okay, let's see. Okay. When is someone from the cult going to be on my show? I mean, everything with the cult. I don't know. How about Les Warner? He's the only one I know. Depeche Mode. I'm over Depeche Mode. Now we're down to 2 guys, but I saw it last time and it was bad. I saw it when I was much younger in New York at Madison Square Garden. Stabbing Westward open, but anyway, that's neither here nor there. William B says you are cool. Met you at the Golden Nugget last year. Well, thank you, William. That was a weird one. Golden Nugget was a strange show. We just didn't get it. The band was great. Robbie Crane sat in for the night on bass, but it just was a weird vibe. It was downtown. It was a holiday weekend. I'm not a fan of Fremont Street. Michelle Simon, when is the merchandise coming out? That would help pain and suffering. Very good point. coming soon, we're going to have Waste Some Time with Jason Green coffee mugs. This is a Stephen Pearcy coffee mug, but we'll have that. I've used them on the show. We'll have the 7-inch single. I'm going to have a pick tin. It's a tin and has 5 picks in it. And you can, all this shit, you can get. Chloe, what is so funny? Chloe's cracking herself up or cracking up at the other people watching. She's probably right now at work at the hotel that I won't mention, Delta by Wyndham. And, oh, there's Jason. Hey now. Jason, I was going to have you on to chat and tell people about what it was like working with Stephen Pearcy for the day, because you did work with us and you did a fantastic job. I was going to ask you what you were most surprised about, what you were most disappointed in, and all those kind of things. We're having a reunion. Chloe's here and Jason's here. I don't know if Alex is here, and I don't think. And as I said, Johnny is under the weather. We wish Johnny thoughts and prayers. You travel this much, you feel like shit. I will tell you, coming home. Oh, hold on. Jeff is here with a super sticker. Jeff, thank you so much. That's going to go towards the surgery that I'm going to need to repair my chest. Thank you. Super sticker. Can Jace, not that one. If Marijuana, that's funny. If Marijuana, a song off my record, Death of a Nation, that's a song written by Scotty Griffin. Somebody said, fuck did it go? Can Jason please come on? Like, what does that mean? Okay. Iggy says, I like to watch the random YouTube live streams. You come up and I am watching. Don't know you, but I will check you out. Using YouTube awesome. Well, that's nice. I get worried. I just click on these things without reading them, Iggy. And I thought maybe he's gonna tell me I'm a loser or a jerk. People do like my father. I'm just kidding. But people going through, he saw the picture of my knees and decided to come in. If you like the rock and roll, Iggy, please go and subscribe. I'm going to tell you about the flight home, and I'm also, oh yeah. Chloe is letting the audience know that she is in deal hot. Hey, Jason, you make a good point. Dr. Balls has a YouTube show. He came over and he was soliciting for people to be on his show. I am so overwhelmed. Jason, did you ever meet Paul Rubens? Have any stories about him? I wish I did. I really don't. I was talking to Sin City Photog earlier. We had lunch and on my way to the infirmary. And anyway, he has met him. I had chances. I just never did it. And sad. I regret it because he seemed like a nice guy. As I said earlier, I'm going to go to the movies and rub one out in his honor. Okay. A lot of bad motor scooter today. I was going to tell you some interesting stuff. Hold on. I'm glad you're all here. We're having a reunion. Let's talk about subscribers. A lot of people, know you got to have subscribers to be successful in this influencing business, right? You follow what I'm saying? Well, I am just a few subscribers short of 15,000. Now, some people tell you, well, you don't get paid for subscribers. Well, that may be true, but what happens is, and I don't want to teach everybody everything, but when they put your videos out to your subscribers first. If your subscribers watch it, it gets a bigger push. That's a little inside information. Anyway, I have 14,977. Is there anyone watching right now who hasn't subscribed? Is there any chance that 23 people will subscribe before the end of this broadcast day? If that's the case, then that we'll have a 15,000 celebration and everything will be fantastic. Okay. On the way home from Kentucky, our flight was a little tiny plane. It was diverted because we didn't have enough fuel to circle. They wanted us to circle for a long time. There's 18 other planes circling. We had to land in a place called Montgomery, Alabama. I am not sure that slavery's been abolished. Montgomery, Alabama. That does not sound like. I don't know. I felt like maybe people were there against their will. I don't know. But it was we had the worst food we've ever had. Honestly, the absolute worst food ever. It was a burger. It tasted like cardboard. It was terrible. I've had vegan burgers that were better than this, much better. Anyway, then we got back on the plane and we went from there to Atlanta, where every flight was shut down. I believe it's Delta. I believe it's Delta's fault. They have a work shortage, and I'm very angered by it. Anyway, it was a miserably long flight home. I watched the Rocky Horror Picture Show to get in the mood for the upcoming show. I don't think that movie's that great. I think it's overrated. I understand the history. I understand it's that people love it. It's cult. I get it. It's still playing in theaters to this day. Longest running movie ever. But I don't know. I like some of the songs. But anyway, yeah, this is kind of like a Jason Green telethon. I've considered doing one, and it may happen one day where we set some kind of goal, and I will just stay on for 24 hours, like Jerry Lewis, if you will. Okay. So it was a really long flight, and when you come home, sometimes you don't feel well from all that travel. And Todd says he met Eric and Matt. Matt was so nice. Apparently, Eric was not. Uh, I'm subscribed, but I can subscribe my sock puppet account. Yes, please, please get out your sock puppet account. Francis says I am stunning. Joe Mannix says 15,000. Iggy, who's brand new and welcome to the family, he subscribed. Are we there yet? I don't think we are, though. I don't think we've reached that holy plateau, if you will. Which let's update. Let's update. This is riveting. Okay, well, 2 people have subscribed since I've last mentioned it. We're now down to 21 people. 15,000 is a milestone. Okay, I'm getting short of breath from this. Okay. Yeah, a lot of people don't like Rocky Horror Picture Show. Some people do like it. Oh, Sean is here. Malfunction. Sean, I've had all kinds of questions for you, but I hate to bother you. He says he's not a Rocky Horror fan either, but did enjoy the songs. Rocky Horror fans that are really annoying. I have to agree. And Sean, I'm glad that you feel that way as well, because I felt like I'm missing something. I remember when I was in high school, Rocky Horror made a big comeback. I worked at a record store on 8th Street and 6th Avenue in New York. It was called Revolver Records. Next to it was a store called It's Only Rock and Roll. And across the street from that was Jimi Hendrix Electric Ladyland Studios. Next to that was a movie theater. Forgot the name of it. Cool little theater. But that is where the Rocky Horror Picture Show thing was sort of invented. That was the theater that people went to at midnight and kept it going for 47, 50 years, whatever the hell it's been. I like the imagery and things like that. I'm excited that Susan Sarandon and Barry Bostwick are going to be at this convention, but at the same time, just not my favorite. The reason I'm so happy to see Sean here is that the Halloween 45 convention. I'm planning my conventions. I'll be at Fan Expo in Chicago, but this Halloween 45 is shaping up to be quite exciting. A really amazing chance, and as I said to some people, it might be your last chance to see some of these people. I mean, don't wait for Halloween 50. And then also, Sean is he represents Ozzy Osbourne and the Osbourne family, which is cool. And they're doing a show called The Famous Monsters of Filmland, which is in King of Prussia, Pennsylvania. I can't remember what I'm doing, but I could tell you what Sean is up to. And anyway, and check out his channel, Malfunction. He's got some great videos. I watched one the other night that I really enjoyed, and now I can't remember what it was, but it was good. It was good. Sometimes late at night, I get a little tired when I'm watching, and Malfunction could link you up with interviews with clients. Well, that's definitely possible. Maybe one day we can figure that out. If somebody has something to promote or promote an event, maybe Sean can do that. Sean has his own channel, Malfunction, that you guys can check out. And he has, I know what I watched. I watched Tommy Lee Wallace, who was one of the actors to play Michael Myers in short scene, but an important one. and he directed Halloween 3. Anyway, they went to the Trick or Treat Studios warehouse. I was so into it, and I looked at all the shit that I wanted to buy right afterwards. They should give Sean a kickback because Malfunction needs to bring Adam the Woo. Yeah, Adam the Woo is another great channel and an interesting guy, and like myself, played punk rock bass, but I think he does his own. He's got his own thing going. Okay. Yes, we could do a crossover of both channels. Sean will be back. I tried to have him on last week. He went to England, but we were going to talk a little bit about the SAG strike and how it's affecting conventions, if it's affecting conventions. So far, it seems like it's okay. Sean has a video about this. So anyway, but I think the last time Sean was here, we talked all about horror. Next time we'll talk about music too. Anyway, will you interview the guy who sold Johnny the mattresses that he didn't like at Mattress Firm? It would be interesting. Johnny has exchanged at least 5 or 6 mattresses. He also exchanged his bed on the cruise. And if you want to check out Sean, that is the link right there. Great channel, really good stuff that I've always been interested in myself, and I think you will too. I've been watching a lot of. I try to watch late night TV, so I've been watching all these hot new shows. I've been watching this thing called Gilligan's Island, and boy, it's still funny. And the quality of the footage from Gilligan's Island looks better than half the movies that were made in the '80s. I don't know what they did to clean that up, but so I've been watching Gilligan's Island. Only one person left, Tina Louise, Ginger. I'm trying to get her to sign my Funko Pop before she goes to the big scooter in the sky. And then I watched The Odd Couple, which is one of the greatest shows of all time. Somebody mentioned The Honeymooners right there. Growing up in New York City, there was a channel called WPIX Channel 11. And after the stupid news, you get Honeymooners and Odd Couple, and on New Year's and Christmas, you get Marathon. Sanford and Son is right up there for me too. Odd Couple, Sanford and Son. Gilligan's Island's not one of my favorites, but it's been fun for me to enjoy it. Sean climbed through the weeds in the forest, the helicopter crash from the Twilight Zone, the movie. That's a good one. That was a good episode. It was scary. Sometimes Sean does things where I think he's going to injure himself. He's not dumb enough to ride a scooter, apparently, although he's probably good at it. He's a California guy. I bet you he can skateboard and do all those things. Okay, I'm trying to read everybody's questions. Jace Roberts recently found your channel. Thank you. I appreciate that. Let's see how we're doing. Did we get to 15,000? Okay, hold on. We're refreshing if you're scoring at home. We're getting there. We're 11 away, 11 people. So if 11 of you guys can create an account, we'll have crazy numbers. Todd says, my wife and I watch all your shows in Tortoise. You took a picture with us and Johnny. Also, it was an incredible experience for us. Thank you so much. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. And Jason is keeping an eye on the count, 14.9. Bill adds Three's Company. And I agree. Three's Company is one of the greats. One of the greats. All right, let's see. I was going to tell you guys some other stories. Yeah, PIX 11. Jeffersons and Archie Bunker are great too. I was a bigger Jeffersons fan than Archie Bunker. Let's see. I apologize for the silence. My brain has been a little damaged from my scooter accident, as you have all heard. All right, let's see here. Yeah, let's get to 15,000. I agree. If Skid Row were to ever need a singer, would Sepp be interested? Well, I'll tell you an interesting thing. Steven had an issue with a connecting flight. And when we ran into Mark Slaughter, he's very nice. He said, if you need anything ever, call me. And for a minute, we didn't know if Steven was going to make it. And that's when Matt said, well, maybe we should call Mark Slaughter. Maybe Mark Slaughter could have sang the RATT for the night. Fortunately, we didn't have to get there. Steven made it. Yes, Mr. Furley and his Kung Fu moves. Big fan. Jason Green helmets coming soon. That's not a bad idea. It's not a bad idea. We'll have to think of it. I do enjoy the Love Boat. Yes. Love Boat I enjoy. Robert is headed out to ride his bike in Golden Valley, Arizona. Welcome back. Well, thank you very much. Be careful. It's very dangerous out there. You don't want to injure yourself. All right. Are we there yet? There's a lot of people watching. I'm so happy. I was going to tell you some other stories, but again, injuries are starting to. What is this? Our showers, chance of showers. Don't sleep on the marathon day. You need to line special guests. We'll get to see you go 23 hours of crazy shit. Could be pretty epic. It will be, and it will happen. I just have to wait until I'm able to do it when I'm home for long enough. But we'll do it. Chloe suggesting personalized Jason Green bubble wrap. Like only if I can wear. You can wear it. You know, you can wear the bubble wrap. Excuse me. All right. Who's going to be lucky number 15,000? Who is going to take the honor of being the 15,000 subscriber? When I started this little show, I didn't know really what to expect. We lost a couple of people, it looks like. You know what happens is people unsubscribe and then subscribe again. You don't have to do that. And I can't sit here all night. So, but hopefully some of you are going to subscribe. I am still trying to recover from many injuries. Jesus. Anyway, new interviews coming soon. I'll tell you who I've been talking with. Tammy Down, busy on tour. Kip Winger, busy on tour. Carmine Rojas, incredible bass player, busy on tour. Roxy Petrucci of Vixen, she says she's coming on soon. It would be nice to see. Dana Strum and Mark Slaughter here soon. They've got some big stuff coming up, and when it's time to promote, I think that they will do it. Dana appears in the next tour diary. Oh, here's Erica representing women representing Just Subscribe. Thank you so much. Yeah, Scotty Hill. We got to get that one going too. I got to text them. Maybe I'll text them right after this. Let's see where we're at now. Subscribers. Oh wait, I think we're almost there. 15,000. There it is. Well, thank you. That was so nice, and I'm so glad to share this with you. And yeah, Lizzie Borden is a possibility. Lizzie Borden lives here in Vegas. Chris Holmes interview. He wants to do it, but we just never get it. One day. Thank you for the congratulations, everybody. I see that King Cobra's back. I haven't heard it, but I am so busy celebrating. Eric, thank you so much. Mark, I could not have done this without you guys. 15,000, a lot of people. Wow, look at everyone's just going crazy. This little channel. Sorry, some people will have good comments. This little channel, the little channel that could. We have succeeded, even though we still have that right there. Do you see that? I mean, this is not good. Thought I'd try to get a little guilt. Thank you, Brian, and then the captain and everybody else. It's great. And it helps. Thank you. One of the best channels on YouTube. I agree. Tour diaries coming soon. I'll hope to have one on Friday. Depends on how much editing I can do tonight. These last trips, there's definitely fun moments, fun cameos. You'll get to see Jason. He's in there. Jason Neal. He has a twin brother, ladies. I think he's taken. And then you get to see Chloe as well. And in addition to them, you'll get to see Vince Neil and other famous rock stars. Definitely an Ike Turner style bruise. Fan of the tour diaries. Well, they're going to get interesting again. There's a lot of them. If you guys have some questions, I'll be happy to answer them. Otherwise, I'm going to get out of here. So this is it. This is your chance. Fire away. Ashland's finest are looking all over for you. That's a good point. Chloe, if anyone comes in asking questions, mum is the word. Michelle enjoys my sense of humor. I've looked for Marcy Free. Doesn't look like it's going to happen. Mark Free, formerly, was the singer for King Cobra. He became Marcy Free. I would interview her with respect, but don't think she's up for it. But I'm always, it could happen. Yeah, I told him where you are. And where would that be, Chloe? What location did you give them? Yes, Kip. They just had a tour canceled. Is Johnny going to record a new album with Stephen Piercy? I don't know. Thank you, Skylar. It's Nitro. We've had Jim Gillette has already been on the show. Just the facts, man. Joe Mannix is probably looking for me to turn me in for allegedly. I don't know if Michelle's here to help me with some legal advice, although she's not supposed to. So, Johnny's still working as a. Since the Sinners reunion would be great, I don't see it happening, at least not with the original lineup. But who knows? Jason says, Chloe better have that Office Depot Sharpie under glass after Steven used it. That's true. It was a good Sharpie, too. We did a signing in the lobby of the hotel that I won't mention because there was blood in my bed. Delta by Wyndham. I'm not sure I can say that out loud. But I think she means she keeps it by her nightstand. Great content. Take care of Bitsy and yourself. Thank you, Susie. Anyone in this area going to be at the Fan Expo in Chicago? I'd like to see some of you. Oh, the FMK game. I'll play. Liv Tyler, Orianthe, or Mrs. Elizabeth from WWF. Okay, that took me a minute. But by Miss Elizabeth, you mean, I don't think she was Mrs. Elizabeth, she was Miss Elizabeth. She was the valet for Randy Macho Man Savage. The spelling of Orianthe looks bad, but so this is a little tough. Tracy Guns has really fouled up Orianthe, don't you think? All right. When I was a kid, my friend from high school, the same one who went to Berkeley, his sisters were very close friends with Liv Tyler. She was very young, younger than me. And they would have like sleepover parties. She'd be over there in her little shorty shorts and whatever else these ladies do at some parties. And I remember we were going to go see Ozzy Osbourne. It was Ozzy Osbourne's farewell tour. It was the No More's tour. That was 1992, probably 91. And anyway, Liv Tyler was very, very nice. Very nice young woman. Beautiful. So I think you marry her. She's also probably got some money in the bank. I think maybe, the younger me would say Miss Elizabeth. Obviously, this would be back in her prime. Yeah, you know what? Back in the prime, I'd Miss Elizabeth, and maybe we ask Orianthe to leave. Orianthe's good looking, but the Tracy Guns thing really has made it difficult for me to look at her in any other. Rumor has it that Black Eagle has canceled the Wasp tour due to a scooter accident. It is possible. Mikey Myers, who is not the killer from Halloween, says, "Whoa, you're banged up. High dose of CBD and CBD cream." I'll have to find that. Okay, what am I missing here? You don't have to say it out loud. I have content posted. I think I'm in trouble. Uh-oh. Malfunction says, I have one client at Fan Expo Chicago, but I won't be there. I'll be at the Houston Horror Film Festival. Also have 4 clients at Steel City Con this weekend. Lots of shows going on. It's crazy. For those who don't know, not only does Sean have a great channel, but he is an agent to a lot of cool clients at these conventions. And I'm trying to get it where we cross paths. I definitely will be at the Halloween 45 where he has a lot of the clients. And there's another one too. But yes, these conventions are crazy. They're overlapping. There's one in every city. The West Coast, unfortunately, barely has any. I'm always traveling somewhere far away. Okay. But yeah, Richie Sambora to guns. Okay. Trying to get to everybody's things. DJ Ashba from Bride's Instruction or the Bumblefoot? Are you asking me which one I would prefer to FMK, or are you asking to have them on the show? Bumblefoot has been on the show multiple times, and DJ says he's coming on the show very soon. Natalie loves Tammy. Yeah, DJM. I did meet DJM, the late DJM. The poor guy survived a plane crash. I can't remember his actual cause of death. I don't think it was good. None really are, but sad. Sad. Let's see. What was the? Oh yeah, ask me about the Sphere. Cincinnati Photog has seen it. I mean, I've seen it at a distance. U2 kicking it off, not one of my bands. All right. Any other questions? 1 hour, 32 minutes and 23 seconds. I always say I'm going to do this for a half hour. An hour, and then I'm going to get out. Lights are a little weird. You know what? I forgot to plug in a light. That's why it looks so weird. I forgot to plug in the lights. Looks like a Halloween special. What did you think of the Kick show in York? Yeah, it was very good. I've seen Kicks a lot. They did do an encore this time. That yeah. I think it's on the first record. Place was nuts. They had a bigger crowd than any other band, including Vince Neil, and that's Kick's country. And people love them. I was glad to see them one more time before they call it a day. All right. Any other questions? When did the new Dawkins see? And not something on my radar. Did you like the Ramones' Acid Ear albums? I did. It's a covers album, but I did enjoy it. Local horror host Jason Green set. I'm not sure what you're saying, Jason. I apologize. Any plans for Halloween? Well, I'm going to go to the Universal Horror Nights, Halloween Horror Nights in Burbank. Universal, I guess. They announced the full lineup. It's not the best in the world. I'd like to have Sean come on maybe next week or so, and we'll talk about some of those type of things, see what he thinks. I like Stranger Things. I like licensed. I like brands. Chucky's not my favorite, but he's there. And then they're missing Michael Myers. I get that. Halloween movies kind of ended last year for a minute. No Jason, no Freddy. Costs money to license some of these properties, but it's not terrible. There was a few other. They're doing a twist on the Universal monsters this year. It's going to be the Invisible Man, Phantom of the Opera, Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, and the Hunchback of Notre Dame, and they're all going to battle it out to see who leads. Yeah. On a trip to Australia in 2013, Linda Blair admitted to the Daily Telegraph that the film producers had deliberately spread rumors about her and the movie to stir up controversy. Yeah, I don't know. I know there's a new Exorcist, and that's one of the attractions that they're going to have at Horror Nights. Lead a Ford interview. It's possible. We message every now and then. Could happen. Bullet Boys. Mark Torian has been on the show. It's a very popular interview, and so is Mick Sweeta. John 5 has announced a solo tour. I believe John 5 works with Sean also. I think he's a client. Uh, I don't know. He's a nice guy. He's always been nice when I met him. And it seems like he got himself a good gig. And yes, William Friedkin, rest in peace. Are you looking forward to Exorcist Believer? No, no. Fathom Events is showing the Exorcist 50th anniversary. Every year, Fathom Events shows classic movies, horror movies. They do it all year round, but they show horror movies in the theater. I'm going to go see Enter the Dragon next week, but that's neither here nor there. They're going to have The Bird's 60th anniversary, The Exorcist 50th anniversary, and House of a Thousand Corpses 20th anniversary. I'm not a giant fan of the House of a Thousand Corpses. Mark Slaughter, I think he'll be here soon. I think they're waiting for something to promote. Chad just got a RATT box set online. There's a link in the description if you want to buy it from me. Favorite bass amp? I feel like the only answer is the SVT. That's what everybody uses, but I don't play these stadiums, so I use a thing called the Fender Rumble. I think it's 400 watts, and it's lightweight. They finally made a lightweight thing, and it sounds good. All right. What creature is your favorite? Walks Among Us or Revenge? Oh, that's interesting. I always kind of screw this one up. I think the last one. What's the last one? Is that Walks Among Us? The third one. It's the one where he wears the jacket. I sort of like that one. Even though it's so crazy that he wears an evening jacket. His gills don't work anymore, and he has trouble with the water. The Clint, I think, is the second. Clint Eastwood, I think, is the second one. It's depressing to see him locked into like a SeaWorld thing. So the first one obviously is the best, and then so I'm going to say the first and the third. I got the new Creature from the Black Lagoon Funko sodas. Yeah, seen these? Comes in a can, right, like that. And this is the can. Creature from the Black Lagoon, and there's 12,500. This is the common one. This is in the can, this little figure. I apologize for the blurring effect. And then the Chase, which is way less of them. 1 in 6 chance of getting it, is a metallic. I think I got some more bruises I didn't know about. Look at that. There you go. So anyway, I've added to my creature collection. One of these days, maybe I'll show some of this horror stuff that's around here. Okay, let's see what else we got. I asked you for Samantha Maloney, who also played in Motley Crue. Yes, I like Samantha Maloney. She played with the Sinners for a show once, and she was very good. She went to the Fame School in New York, and I don't really know her that well, but I would like to have her on. Why did they need scooters in Little Ashland, Kentucky? Well, Chloe, if you're watching, why do they need those scooters? Those instruments of death is what they are. A lot of people asking for Corey Feldman. I'd love to have him on. He might be a little out there. Kelly Maroney, that's a deep one from Night of the Comet. These are people that Sean probably knows. But Corey Feldman, Jake from the Whiskey, he works with him. Bobby Blotzer would be a great guest. Bobby Blotzer would certainly be an interesting guest, I'll tell you that much. Does the They Live DVD have commentary? This is a malfunction question. A lot of Sean's bonus content has been put on DVDs. Tons of them. That's his thing called Horror's Hollow Ground. So if he's watching, maybe he can answer you. I don't know. I don't know. What's your favorite piece of memorabilia in your rock collection? Now we've got a good question. Most likely it's I have a painting that Didi Ramon did. It's a large canvas painting, and it was painted in the month that he passed. It's the last painting he ever did. It's high on my list. The answer would be something Ramones. I have almost every Ramones album on vinyl signed by the original lineup. The original 4 have passed. I have 8x10. I have a lot of Ramones memorabilia. I'd say that's my favorite of the rock memorabilia. But there's other stuff ever since the accident. I haven't been able to think clearly to give you a question, answer your questions. All right, almost time to get the hell out of here. I need to come out to Vegas and we could film a few collection tour videos. Yes, I agree, Jason. Jason, I have about 5,000, 10,000 pictures with people that need to be scanned and preserved and shared with the world. And someone needs to do that. And you seem to know who a lot of these people are. The memorabilia collection, everything needs to be put in order. That was one of the things I wanted to ask Sean too. I'll have to message him. He's got the binders and he displays things well. I need to find better ways to display things. So, all right. Sue the town and the scooter company. I probably should have. They do say a stupid thing on the scooter, though, that we're not responsible if you destroy your body. There's a legal loophole. 1 hour, 41 minutes, 24 seconds, 106 degrees here in Las Vegas. Let's see. Current subscriber total 15,002. That makes me feel good. We'll have new stuff on Friday. If you haven't become a channel member, please consider doing it. We're going to add perks to the channel members. We're a small operation, but by we, I mean me. And then Patreon as well. All those kind of things. It is a dry heat. You're in Vegas. Don't look at that. Do you where did it go? What is this question? I need to get my Sharpie to bed. Good night, Jason fans. Nice spending time with you all. Well, thank you, Iggy. It was a nice spending time with you as well. I wanted to answer somebody. Do you collect the horror Neko figures? I've started, yeah. I have a lot of the Sideshow, the original, more like dolls in the big boxes, 12-inch, I think they call those. But those I like. And I'm getting into the horror NECA. I think I call it Neko, but NECA figures, yeah. All right. Jason says it's another great show. Go get some rest and hang out. Yeah, there's never any hanging out. It's always one thing to next. Oh, here's B. B is a member. Have you watched the Thriller series from the 60s hosted by Boris Karloff? I don't think I have. I've watched so much stuff I forget, but I'll have to look it up again. Instrument of Death, of course. Dudley would be a good guest. Dudley from Different Strokes. Yes, he'd be a good guest. Thank God Gordon Jump didn't get fresh with him in the bathroom. Mr. Drummond came in just in time. I don't like to cause attention to stupid comments in the chat, and I also don't really like to ban people. It's not really my thing. It's more of a, what's your most expensive Funko Pop you've ever purchased? The most expensive Funko Pop I have is Johnny Ramone. I'm looking at it right now. Right now, they say it's worth like $350, $400. I didn't pay that much, fortunately, but the highest Funko Pops I have: Johnny Ramone, Dee Dee Ramone, Sid Vicious, and then I got some Disney stuff. Song of the South. Song of the South was a classic movie. I have the Splash Mountain, and when it became canceled, those went up. A lot of went up a lot. So let's see. I have the Misfits Crimson Ghost as well. I have all the punk ones, and I have most of the metal ones. I have about 300 of the rock Funko Pops. I'm looking at them now. My collection is estimated at a value of $33,000. Can you believe that? I don't believe it, but that's what they say. I do have I have the Joey Ramone figures. Okay. Yeah, Lemmy and Zippity Doo Dah for sure. Jason, you should write an autobiography. Kara, I agree with you. It's been an interesting life. I'm hoping it's not going to be over soon when I lay down with my internal bleeding and wounds and then hitting my head. What is the last movie you watched that you enjoyed? That's a good question. I watch movies on planes. I watched the Scream in New York movie. Not so great for me. I watched Rocky Horror Picture Show. I watched Vacation. I always like that. I saw that in the theater. Maybe sometimes I got to go back to the old ones. Jason, I do have the Zombie Pearl Jam. I bought 4 of them. I sold 3. When they were high. You got to sell when it's high. Jason, any stories about meeting rude celebrities? Who's your favorite ones you met? I have lots of stories about rude celebrities. Bruce Willis, who's no longer all there, was really a nasty guy. And then nice people, John Travolta was probably one of the nicest people you could ever meet. Very famous. B, thank you so much for your support. Wishing you a speedy recovery. Watch Thriller. See you later. I will. I'm going to look for it right after this. You and Johnny make a hell of a team. You play with each other perfectly well. Thank you. I agree. And I will thank you for Johnny as well. And Uncle Remus, for that matter. You know, I'll tell you, I plan on going to New York City later this year. People film location videos everywhere. They film them in LA, they film them in New York. But I got some interesting spots, including the place where the young child star of Song of the South passed away. He was discovered in a building. He was homeless, essentially. And these kids were playing in the building, and they found him. They didn't know who he was, and his body was brought to an island, a pauper's island. He was buried in mass graves. Eventually, his family was able to track him and track the remains on this island. It's called Ward's Island. And it's nothing there but graves and body parts that get amputated, get buried there. It's a very depressing place. People that they can't identify. But anyway, I have a whole video about this guy, and his name, I believe, is... I want to say it's Bobby Sherman, but I don't think that's right. But anyway, there's a Song of the South. Is there things in the movie that might be a little bit racist under today's circumstances? Yeah, for sure. But I don't think not showing it. Bobby Driscoll is his name. Bobby Driscoll, Song of the South, 1946. But I don't think they should not show the movie. Okay, I wasn't looking to get into that one. All right. Well, I think we can get out of here. I think we can get out of here. A little under 2 hours. We've had a great time. And rest in peace to Robbie Robertson. And, of course, the late, great Pee Wee Herman, Paul Reubens. And we'll talk more. Make sure you follow the channel. If you're in Chicago, hit me up. I'll be happy to see you at the a fan expo. And with that, I say good night and thank you for watching and subscribing. 15,000.